It's me, it's MARV, and I'm here with this week's results and review for WWE Smackdown Live, August 2nd, 2016. Overall, I just want to say it was a decent show. It wasn't their worst show. It wasn't really an amazing show. It wasn't a terrible show, but it was definitely better than last week's show. But I still have to say this, some of you may disagree. Raw this week was still better than SmackDown this week. I'm sorry, I had to say it. It's true. It's true. It's true. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. First up, Bray Wyatt brought darkness to Dean Ambrose's face-to-face with Dolph Ziggler. So Ambrose and Ziggler, they were exchanging words. The promo, it was gold. I liked it. That was actually really good. It was pretty hard to tell whether or not Dolph Ziggler was still in character or he was really expressing what he was thinking. But either way, it was still a good promo between Ambrose and Ziggler. I'm sure those two are going to have a great match at SummerSlam. The Bray Wyatt part, well, after Dean Ambrose left the ring, Bray Wyatt came out of nowhere. He gave Dolph Ziggler's sister Abigail. And then Bray Wyatt challenged Dolph Ziggler to a match later tonight. If Bray Wyatt wins, Dolph Ziggler loses his spot and Bray Wyatt replaces Dolph Ziggler for the WWE World Championship match. I'll get to that match later on in this video. For our first match, we have Apollo Crews versus Kalisto versus Baron Corbin, a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for The Miz's Intercontinental Championship. Decent match. It was decent. I like triple threat matches, especially when there's high stakes, because obviously the Intercontinental Championship is very prestigious, and if you win it, it'll look very good on your resume. Right, WWE? Apollo Crews ended up winning the match. He defeated Kalisto and Baron Corbin. He rolled up. I believe it was Baron Corbin who he rolled up. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what happened. But he rolled up Baron Corbin. The result was definitely a roll-up. That's what I remember. I'm just not sure whether or not Kalisto or Baron Corbin picked up the fall. But after the match, Baron Corbin ended up attacking Kalisto. Apollo Crews went in to save Kalisto, so he started attacking Baron Corbin. But then The Miz stepped in. The Miz gave Apollo Crews a skull-crushing finale. And then at the end, that's not all. Baron Corbin gave The Miz the end of days. Maybe we'll see a Fatal 4-Way later in the year because obviously it's already one-on-one, The Miz and Apollo Crews for the IC title. Maybe we can see a Fatal 4-Way after SummerSlam. Who knows? Anything could happen. Up next, it was probably something that really ticked me off, and it was a huge slap to the women's division. Yes, I'm talking about WWE Smackdown Live, very much promoting Eva Marie's debut on SmackDown. I'm going to shoot with you guys a bit. It is absolutely absurd that WWE is signing Eva Marie when there are a lot of talented women in the independent circuit who are looking to make it big. But Eva Marie, she has zero talent. She cannot wrestle. She is just eye candy for the WWE women. You know it. I know it. She knows it, and the WWE knows it as well. Now, back to Becky Lynch versus Eva Marie. That was the match. It ended in a no contest. The match didn't even begin. So Eva Marie was doing her entrance. You know how she always stands on the middle rope, and then she jumps down to the ring. Somehow, she ended up hurting her hamstring, and I'm not sure whether or not it was a work or it was an actual injury, because it wasn't. Well, then that would tell you a lot about Eva Marie and her skills. So that match never really happened. They just ended up throwing the match away. And while we're on the subject of women, Natalya and Carmella, another embarrassment to the women's division of SmackDown Live. The women only got 5 minutes on SmackDown. Carmella, she was supposed to be in the match. She was making her entrance, but then Natalya attacked her from behind. Sharpshooter to Carmella. That's it. That's all that happened for the women. That's it. Nothing much. While we're on the subject of women, I would not like to bring up the fact that I made a mistake on yesterday's Raw results and review about Sasha Banks. I said that 8 days after winning her women's championship. It was actually 7 days after winning her championship. Please let me refer to my notes here. I would like to apologize to my friends, family, peers, fans, and anyone else who might embarrassed, saddened, angered, and or disappointed when I made an obvious mistake in yesterday's Raw results and review. I hope everyone can find it in their hearts to forgive me, as I would try to make sure it never happens again. Isn't that a Marvel clock? Oh. I'm being told I have to take a page out of What Culture's book, and apparently there's been a creation of my very own Marvel clock. Just roll the damn thing. Did you enjoy that, you sick f***? Up next, we have American Alpha versus the Vaudevillains. This crowd was absolutely asleep. This crowd was not into it at all. American Alpha, they made their debut. They were in NXT. Have anyone in the crowd watched NXT? They should have been given a more proper pop. Obviously, the Tennessee crowd was not into it. 1, they never watched NXT. 2, they were asleep. So in my opinion, the crowd sucked. But anyways, American Alpha defeated the Vaudevillains in their debut. I'm sad because I actually like the Vaudevillains. The Vaudevillains deserve better. They're really talented guys. I feel like American Alpha should have made their debut more against a jobber team like the Ascension. Up next, we have another golden promo between AJ Styles and John Cena. AJ Styles is getting better at holding the stick. The stick being the microphone, obviously. So both of them were cutting a golden promo. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I was really into it. AJ Styles challenged John Cena to a match at SummerSlam. And I am so mad I'm not going to be a part of SummerSlam this month. Why? I live in New York City. Many of you know that. SummerSlam is in Brooklyn this year. Tickets are sold out, so what am I going to do, right? But don't worry, I will do my very best to make sure I'm in next year's SummerSlam. Because next year is the last SummerSlam to be held in Brooklyn, at least for a while. Because I'm pretty sure you're going to head back to Los Angeles, to the Staples Center. Anyways, John Cena agreed. AJ Styles and John Cena is now official for SummerSlam. I do believe AJ Styles has to win. He has to solidify himself as a proper WWE superstar. And what better to do it than getting a win over John Cena. Up next, we had another segment that was a huge slap to the brand split. First of all, it was Randy Orton versus Fandango, accompanied by Tyler Breeze, and it was a pretty useless match. Everyone knew Randy Orton was going to win, but really, he did win via disqualification. Why? Because Brock Lesnar hopped over the barricade. He F5 Randy Orton. That's it. That's really all that happened. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. If they're gonna slap the brand split in the face, they should at least build up Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar better, not just they hit their finisher on each other. That's not all that should happen. Up next, we had a backstage segment where Heath Slater was once again trying to convince Daniel Bryan to sign him to SmackDown Live. Daniel Bryan said Heath Slater has to prove himself worthy of that contract. What better way to do it than having a match? Who was the match against? Rhino comes out of nowhere. He gives the gore to Heath Slater. Or he gores Heath Slater. I don't know. But anyways, Heath Slater versus Rhino is set for next week. If Heath Slater wins, he gets a contract. If he loses, no contract for Heath. And finally, the main events. Like I said earlier tonight, Bray Wyatt challenged Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler loses. Ziggler gives us a spot. Bray Wyatt is a new #1 contender for the WWE World Championship. Dolph Ziggler won the match via super kick after Bray Wyatt hit his face steel first on the turnbuckle. Yeah, steel first on the turnbuckle. That makes sense. He went face first on the steel turnbuckle while the top turnbuckle was exposed. You guys know what I'm talking about. Then Dolph Ziggler hit the super kick. Dolph Ziggler retained his #1 contender spot for the WWE World Championship. And that's it for SmackDown Live. Like I said, it was not a horrible show, but it wasn't really their best show. In my opinion, Raw had a better build-up for SummerSlam than SmackDown did. Also, we have a new announcement. We're getting Backlash back. Backlash is returning to WWE. The only bad thing about Backlash is the font. It looks like it was made in Microsoft Word art. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed SmackDown Live and enjoyed my results and review. What do you guys think of SmackDown Live? Tell me in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter here. Right here. This is where you can follow me on Twitter. That's my Twitter ad. That's also my Instagram ad if you want to follow me there too. Any support such as liking, sharing, and subscribing is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.